your loyalty oath. I, James C. Brown III,
I, James C. Brown III,
a citizen of Brooks County, Georgia,
a citizen of Brooks County, Georgia,
and being an employee of the City of Quitman,
and being an employee of the City of Quitman,
and the recipient of public funds
and the recipient of public funds
for services rendered as such employee, do hereby solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of Georgia.
and the Constitution of Georgia.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Judge.
You're due this morning.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
This is Ghetto Free Press, and once again, this is Gladys Lee. Everybody knows her. She needs no introduction. What do you think about the installation and oath of office of the new mayor?
I'm very excited, as we should be in Brooks County, that we have installed a new mayor, and that we are looking with great expectation for the growth and development of Brooks County, Quitman, Georgia. We are very excited because we know that good things come to those who wait, and we have waited, and now we are prepared to see industry come back into Quitman, Georgia. We are prepared to see businesses open again so that Quitman can become the thriving annex to Valdosta and Thomasville. We are right in the middle of all of this industry and all of this affluence, and we want Quitman to be the beneficiary of that. So now that we have leadership, new leadership in the person of Mr. James C. Brown III.
I have been to many installations of mayors. How many city councilmen was there?
I've only recognized Mr. James Maxwell.
Well, he's a county commissioner.
He's a county, yes. I didn't see any other representatives from the city.
Okay. Normally, I have seen the installation or the oath of office normally take place at city council meetings. Why do you think it was done in this fashion? It was very few whites in the audience, although we don't put that because we have always had to work this hard. That's not a major impediment of any kind. But what say you about participation today, including the black population?
I don't know if the people or the citizens of Quitman, Brooks County weren't aware that the swearing in would take place this morning here at the courthouse at 10 o'clock, but I was very alarmed that there were not more people, more citizens present to witness the swearing in of Mr. James C. Brown III, as I was there.
What do you think about the South Georgia news media, like television and radio? I guess it's almost impossible to expect anything on the TV station because nobody was here.
Of course, that has been the pattern throughout the ages, seemingly, that any news that's worth news making is being ignored, that we have no media except Mr. George C. Ryan and the Ghetto Free Press present. But it is important that you are here because we've got to get the message out. That's our responsibility, to help inform the people so they'll know what the facts are.
In closing, as a former educator at Washington Street High School.
And Brooks County.
And Brooks County in general. That's the main thing, in fact, really. Because that's where it falls under. But the bottom line is this. How do you think, or do you think that the work of the Quitman 10+2 contributed to the first historic mayor of Quitman?
Well, we have a strategy that's available to us that will allow elected officials to become a reality in any town. The strategy does work, but in order to elect anyone, you've got to have a team dedicated to knock on doors, to meet people face to face and say, we are in this working together. The one thing I want to make very clear is that the concept is not, it's us against them, but rather we are in this together, working together to build a better and more affluent Brooks County and Quitman, Georgia. We can make this happen. That's essential.
I call you a former educator, but inside I was noticing you was giving out some very valuable information to some more living human beings.
Amen.
So I guess you never retire, huh, Gladys?
I never retired. I believe deep down in my heart, teaching is eternal. You never stop teaching or trying to influence in a positive manner. And that's who I am. I am a consummate educator.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhymes, doing what we do in front of the Brooks County Courthouse. This is the Ghetto Free Press. I'm George Boston Rhymes, and once again, I'm over in Meigs, Georgia, to record a city council meeting. And we're going to do this. Would you explain to me again what you say about that sign tonight?
That's where they had the meeting for this afternoon.
It was scheduled for the afternoon. They had the agenda sign posted.
Sign posted for this afternoon.
And then this sign here.
This sign came up all of a sudden.
All of a sudden they brought this sign up.
And they did not notify the citizens in time.
Oh my goodness. So that's a straight violation of the law. Yeah. Thank you very much. What's your name?
Magnus Nixon.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
They all told me no, they were not going to open it because Mr. Moga told them not to open it for me. And they were going to
now she going home. They over there to her house. She going home now. If both constantly coming on out.
How you doing?
How you doing, good?
I'm doing good.
Your people constantly coming
If the
on
mayor
out
asked
for this meeting.
the police to open the door, he should have opened the door.
That's right.
You asked the chief of police?
I asked the sergeant to open it. He said that he was told by the councilman, Mr. Moga, not to open the door for me.
And who was Miss Moga?
Mr. Moga is the city manager, the city clerk.
Okay.
City clerk.
Thank you.
Basically.
Madam Mayor, what did you just say about sending this tape where?
To the Attorney General's office, Sam Owens in Atlanta, because it clearly, my rights have clearly been violated according to the Open Records Act and the Open Meetings Act and the Sunshine Law.
Okay, so let me say this before I show the next videos. I'm gonna put this together. So what you're saying is that this is a special request to Georgia Attorney General, what's his name?
Sam Owens.
Are you an elected mayor of Meigs by the voters of the people?
Yes, I am.
Did you have a majority vote?
Yes, I did.
What has happened to you since you became mayor? Was stumbling blocks or impediments put before you?
Yes, I've struggled even before I decided to run for mayor. And also, ever since I was elected, I was sworn in, they tried to remove me by the previous administration. Okay.
Okay, no. One other thing. So what impact has it had on your family?
It has had a major impact on my family. My name has been scandalized, and I know that I'm a public official, and I know there are guidelines according to if you're a public official, there are some things that people are going to say. I have no problem with that. Where I have a problem at is when this form of government is a strong mayor, weak council form of government, and they've made a city manager divested my powers and vested them all in her when she's supposed to have the same qualifications as the mayor. She's not the city manager is not a resident of the city of Meigs. She's not a registered voter in the city of Meigs. So that doesn't qualify her to take on the mayor's duties according to our state charter.
Okay, on the other video that we recorded following the council meeting the other night, one of your brothers, I think his name Calvin, and another one I think told me his name was Edwards.
Yes.
And I think you received a trespass warning as well. Am I correct?
Yes.
I have heard, what the guy named Jimmy something, or
Jimmy Layton.
Jimmy Layton, he said that you had violated no law, and what was his position for this city of Meigs? What was his position?
He used to be our city chief, our police chief, and he also used to be the city manager. And when he was city manager, he was made move from Pelham, Georgia, because they said that you have to be, in order to be a city manager, you have to live in the city of Meigs and be a registered voter in the city of Meigs.
Okay, so to make things short for the Georgia Attorney General, what would you say is the most impediment here in Meigs, Georgia, in terms of what's standing in your way, or what person, or what group of people? Why did all this happen? Or what initiated it?
The reason this happened is they told me, the Mayor Pro Tem told me, well, my duties are going to be taken because they didn't want me to do the same thing the previous mayor did, hiring and firing and overspending money. And he, whenever they made the city clerk, the city manager, divesting all my power, then she took over all the rights. And ever since then, she's befriended the council. One of the council members' husband is a supervisor of public works, and I think it's just a personal interest there, a conflict of interest. And the council is really, and I'm not sure if they voted for me, but I don't think they did. So this is the way that they're going to attack me. But one of the council members, Teal Kilpatrick, just told me that she don't like the way it's going. And she don't feel like I was warned or I've been notified in a timely manner, and that they're doing stuff that's not legally right according to our state charter.
When you first became mayor, did you have an office?
Yes, I did.
What happened to that office?
The city clerk, after being made city manager, well, actually she was city clerk at that time, she convinced the council and the city attorney that she was afraid of me, assistant city clerk was afraid of me, and that I needed to be out of the office. And after that, my computer was taken. They threw me on the other side of the police station. My computer was taken. Then not too long after that, well, before that, the keys were taken. My keys to the city hall were taken. Then the office was taken. Then my computer was taken. I was put over on the other side. And now she decided that she wanted to take out a warrant on me. Actually, she didn't. The manager didn't do the warrant. She had the sergeant police to go down and take out a disorderly conduct warrant on me. And I asked them, on what grounds can the police take out a warrant on me for the city manager? I just don't understand that to this day. And they said that as long as he or she had witnesses, 2 or 3 witnesses, that they could do it. But the witnesses that they had on the paper were not around.
Okay. We have also heard it being said that there was a, how to put it, they say that you was round putting salt on a desk. You've answered that before.
Yes.
Just because the Attorney General may have read that in the paper, they gave that a lot of media attention. So would you explain for us once again, although we have it on other videos, about that salt ordeal? Because that's what, when they started talking about voodoo, this is what was in the South Georgia newspapers, as if though you were a devil worshiper or something like that, and when the citizens clearly stated that you were not. But what are your take on that?
Well, I was actually influenced by the assistant city clerk that the salt was to ward away evil spirits that might have been left in the office. And I mean, I was naive to that fact. I didn't know that it was considered voodoo. And so I took her upon it. She did it as well. I'm not the only one that was that put down the salt to get away, rid the evil spirits.
Okay. Well, we're going to close this out. I want you to know that I appreciate the interview. I appreciate what you're doing here, because we know how hard it was for blacks to even get the right to vote. And so I'm sure that there are people who respect you. I walk through the community. But in addition to that, I have given an opportunity to opposing views. I've asked them the other day, but they tried to make fun. So I want to be fair and balanced. And if your walk during the day, find anybody that want to interview, I would definitely give them an interview as well, okay?
Okay.
And one other question, I want you to say this. How do you feel in the fact that as long as this has been going on since January, right?
Yes.
And no official in the state of Georgia have come up to your aid to assist you, what do you think about that? Do you feel good about that, or you just still waiting for the law to take its course? What's your take on that as we close?
Yes, I just feel like my civil liberties have been violated on the local, state, and county level. Well, I can say that some of the officials, like Sheriff Powell, he's helped. I got some counsel from Senator Darlene Taylor, who used to be the senator, that said that what they're doing can't be done by ordinance nor resolution. I've spoken to former Senator John Bullock. He said the same thing Miss Darlene Taylor said. And if they were representatives of the city and they're familiar with our state charter, that hasn't changed since 1976, I don't see how they can do all these things. I've read the charter. I read it last night. I've studied the charter. There are many violations. And as stated, I feel really, really violated. And I didn't really come in to go through this much agony. And it has really affected my health.
And this is my final question. I have been coming to Meigs after being asked to come here. But my question is, and I do want you to answer this as honestly as you can, because the last council meeting, I was overwhelmed. I was so happy to see WALB-TV here at your city council meeting. But all due respect, they did not stay until the end of the meeting, and so they missed most of it. So my direct question to you, how could it be in the state of Georgia that with the high profile as these cases, as your council meetings are, that the news media and radio and television stations are not here? How can you explain that to the people of Georgia and to the Attorney General and the FCC if that is applicable to your situation of Meigs?
Yes, I'm not understanding that. And you know, they all says that this is just a local intergovernmental mess. And it's such a big mess, and they consider it an independent city because of the chaos that we've had to go through for years and years now. And now that they've got a mayor that's willing to work with them and resolve the problems, now I get this flack and antagonistic behaviors from the council. They haven't listened to me ever since January. The manager has been coming against me, not telling the truth about what's going on in the office. And I don't want to defame anybody's character or slander anybody's name, but it is the truth. And I wish the council would get with the entire council, not have meetings one-on-one.
Oh, that's another question. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Let me ask you another question. We just watched, and we watched the same thing the other day, how some people get in groups over here and they be discussing. So it seemed like I have read the law, and it seemed like that there are meetings, because if you get one or more people, 2 or 3 or 4 people, isn't that considered what?
Well, if you have 4, like across the street now at the city hall, it's considered a quorum, and that's illegal. That's when you're violating Open Meetings Act, as it was stated to me by Stuart Wilkerson up in Atlanta. That's when they get involved, when there's a violation in that respect.
What would happen if you walk over now and get into the people that were elected with you? What would happen, you think, if you went over there?
Well, actually, one of the council members just told me right before we went in that I called her last night and I went to ask questions. And as mayor, I'm supposed to be able to call the council members. It's stated in the charter. She told me that I was violating. I don't supposed to be calling her out. But if she's a council member, she's on the council with the mayor. I have that right. It's in the charter. If she don't want me to call her and communicate with her, then she needs to resign.
Another thing, on the other videos that I have, you and the sheriff went in the back room. What was you all discussing? Was it personal information the other day, or was they trying to work out something? Because what is it between you and the manager, or what have you? I mean, what was that all about? Well,
I was with the misconduct, with the disorderly conduct warrant that I was given and arrested for it. I'm the mayor. We had a council meeting, and I was told, being that I'm the mayor, I'm supposed to be there as well. The city council, the city manager stated that she had papers to give out, that she had to be there. And so they modified the bond so that I could be there. So the sheriff came back he pulled me in the back to let me know that it had been modified and that I was to get a mediator if I had to address her with anything, that I had to get the mayor pro tem. I had to choose somebody, so I chose the mayor pro tem, but I didn't have anything that I needed to say to her, and she had to do the same thing.
With the intensity of what's going on here in this city, was it appropriate, or do you feel that your attorney should have been here, or do you all work around attorneys on certain incidents such as this?
Well, the city attorney, who is Tommy Coleman, I've only talked to him like twice, maybe. And at every council meeting, he sends his partner, Attorney Dawson, who I've never formally met. And I do believe that the mayor is supposed to hire that person. I've never met him. I've only seen him at the council meetings. And also, our city manager talks to the city attorney on a daily basis, running up our bill. Instead of talking to the council or talking to the mayor, the city manager chooses to call the city attorney.
Okay, do you have a cell phone number that you can give that's connected with the city, just in case the governor, Secretary of State, or the Attorney General would like to call you, or any other concerned civil rights movement? Do you have any telephone number or email address that people may want to get aboard and try to straighten this city out? Any contact information, please give that, and I'm through.
I'm glad you asked me that question, and I was found by saying that I did have a phone up until today. I was told, and that was on the agenda, to take my phone, and that if I didn't give it to them, they would just disconnect it. So if they disconnect my phone, I don't have any way now of talking to any elected official or any superior. They've decided to make my office at the City Hall. They've decided to make it something like a big office for the policemen, I guess. But no, I can't get into the City Hall to access my website. I don't have any communication with anybody at this point.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I'm just taking longer than I thought, but I got to ask you this. So you're telling me that are you still getting paid?
Well, we never got paid. This is a volunteer position.
You don't get paid?
The only people that get paid that's dealing with all this chaos are the employees over at the city.
Why don't you just quit and go home?
Well, I was elected by the people. I thought about resigning, but my support, the people that elected me, don't want me to resign. So I'm not a quitter.
So you're going through all this without any pay?
I'm going through all this without any pay.
And you can't get no, or haven't gotten any help from the state officials, and you don't even get paid? Girl, that's new to me.
No, we don't get paid. Our city officials do not get paid.
But there are people who say you're doing it for the money.
No, that's another street gallery lie. I'm not doing it for the money. And it was also said by one of the city council members that I'm interested in getting paid. But I was told by other mayors that we should get paid.
You do not get paid in the state of Georgia, in a city, and you're the mayor with all this responsibility. You don't get paid?
I never
No.
heard that before.
Lord have mercy. I know that's going to be very shocking to the American people, but then again, what do I know? I'm just a 21-year-old retired military veteran. Had my own business for 14 years, and now I walk out here and try to keep people informed and do what others will not. Look at Madam Mayor, thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing, all I can tell you. But I think I would resign if I wouldn't get paid. Free Press, I'm on East Marshall Street. You have heard an individual here in Meigs to talk about something with somebody. What would you talk about at council meeting? Then show us what you're talking about. What you say at council meeting?
This is private property. This is a church, one of the council. This rock here is been paid for by the city of Meigs, and we can't go on private property. I work for the city of Meigs, which I was dismissed, and this rock is very expensive. Been poured on private property. Here's the drain where it should have been poured, but they didn't pour it on the hole that it should have been in. This is the washout. It's not a washout, it's private property. Should have never gone there. And this is something that I feel like is bribery. I feel like they've done this to vote against my sister, which is the mayor.
And what's her name again?
Linda Harris is the mayor. And this is something that we can't do. We can't go on private property.
Well, this is not the city manager's church, is it?
This is one of the council members.
Oh, this is a council member church.
Member.
And is that the name of the church that I'm looking at? Is that the name of the church?
Yes, Church Unusual.
So you think that that may be a conflict of interest? It may make people act a certain way and vote a certain way?
Very much so. Very much so. And she told Madam Mayor that if the council vote one way, then she's going to have to vote that way also.
All right, and what's your name again, my brother?
My name is Calvin Eason, and I work for the city of Meigs, but I was terminated by Marsha DeMoga, which now is the city city manager, slash, whatever she called herself to be.
All right, thank you very much. And you say this is pretty near, what company did this come from?
Scrubs Construction.
Scrubs Construction, okay. Thank you very much, thank you very much. It's on you, brother, what's up?
Here we are again. More of the taxpayers' money is being dispersed on private property, which we don't supposed to be putting gravel on private property, spending the city, the taxpayers' money. This same gravel that we got the 2 churches that we was talking on earlier, last month or this month. But this is something that the city can't do, and this is what I call bribery. The guy that owns this he's very prejudiced.
When you say prejudice, what do you mean?
He's prejudiced, and the only thing he wants is the blacks to live in his place and collect the money. He don't care about them. They don't care how this place has been on caretaker. But this gravel here is some of the same gravel that the city paid for the churches. Okay. And all of this is bribe.
Okay. Thank you very much. What's your name again, brother?
Calvin Eason.
Thank you, brother, man.
Okay, thank you.
Once again, I was up there at the what's supposed to be a city council meeting, and the brother, the white individual. What's his name? The brother told. What's his name? The white guy?
Jimmy Layton.
He referred me down here.
Used to be the chief.
Yeah. Thank you. Greetings, this is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhymes, and I'm in Dawson, Georgia. As I've been walking the streets here with the mayor, Mayor Wright, and what's your name, my brother?
My name is Wallace Johnson, America, and I'm Mayor Wright's uncle.
Okay, and tell me, what do you think about what happened to the beloved mayor? I see that he is well liked in this community. He told me he's been shot 6 times. But tell me something about, in your own opinion, what do you think about what happened to him as mayor of the city?
To see not only my nephew, my family, my blood, but to see a city figure get targeted on such a heinous, I don't know what you say, incident, especially a Halloween night incident where people get the mask up and run around as if like a child playing it. It really makes me sick that we as, excuse me, but we're a majority of black community here and black leaders and black stuff, for anything to go down like that, you know, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and it's also scary. It doesn't make sense. Plus how long it's taking, no answers. Nitpicking, letters, flyers, all kinds of stuff to make his name bad, try to dirty him. Speculation about him, all this stuff in the event that someone tried to murder him, assassinate him, and it didn't come true. And it took my family through a whole lot of ups and a whole lot of downs. My wife, she going crazy, door lock, new locks on doors, talk about purchase of weapons for her and take our home and our family, but it was devastating. Plus the time he was in ICU on breathing machines when no one could see him, and everybody crying, and you know, for a community to love a new mayor, you know, so much, you know, not saying they hate the old mayor so much, but the votes speak for themselves, you know what I'm saying, which the old mayor used to be a good friend of our family, one of my dad's best friends, and you know, I'm not pointing fingers and anything, but you know, it's kind of strange, and it's kind of strange, and it kind of makes me sick to my stomach that nothing has been done about it, or no one knows anything, and no, you know,
What do you think about law enforcement? What kind of do they keep? Does the city police or the county keep you up on the status of the investigation or anything like that?
I can't lie now. During the investigation, the police they were on hand as far as they could go. You know, the police is only for within the city limits, so therefore security for him at the hospital, you know, that would have to be done through other agencies because this is Dawson and we don't have a hospital, so we had to go to the next 2 counties over to get there, and so the protection was provided for him by volunteer officers from his department, and they also offered to guard his home once he got home, and we greatly appreciate them for that, and he's getting back to health and stuff, but it just, you never know sometimes where the threat came from, whether it be from city officials or whoever. You know, no one has got to the bottom of it.
What about the G.B.R, the federal government? Are they involved, or civil rights organizations like Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson? Anybody?
I had heard wind of them getting contact with Al, but I haven't seen Al. I wish I could shake Al's hand and Al come here and talk about this, because you know, Al is a good. Al good for this, yes, you know. Al is good for this, so but we haven't seen him, and I just we need some help. We need to get to the bottom.
Well, I'm gonna try to get this out as much as I can. You know, we have the same problem in Meigs, Georgia. Linda Harris was stripped of her power as the mayor over there. You familiar with that?
I wasn't familiar.
Well, I'm gonna hope to educate you a little bit on that before we leave. I understand that there are others, I'm going over to some more black mayors that were elected going through the same thing, not being shot, but they have been stripped of their powers, and now they shifted from the mayoral type government to the city manager, which means that the mayors used to have the power, but now they shifted to the city mayor where blacks are coming in positions of power. I mean, it's more blacks in the city here than it is white. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct. With the black superintendent, black mayor, black police chief, a whole lot of black authority figures in our mostly black community, and but still, no questions, no answers to this thing. It's like someone has a big rug.
Have you heard anything from the Congressional Black Caucus or any of the?
Yes, they've been in touch. They've been in touch, and they were here promoting and trying to get to the bottom of this, and I introduced them to some more black mayors that I knew. So they've been doing their part, but as far as the investigation goes, I'm not pointing any fingers, but right as of now, it has gone nowhere. Plus the fact that if the mayor was assassinated or he was murdered, I asked them a question like, who would succeed him? Who succeeds the mayor when he dies? That's a good question, you know. Like, but we'll get into that later.
But the bottom line is that one thing we do know. I spoke with a pastor who was a witness, or we went to him and saw him laying on the ground. I've already interviewed him. And brother, what's your name once again?
I'm Wallace Johnson.
Wallace Johnson, I want to commend you, because everywhere I go, whether it's Jacksonville, Bentonville, Arkansas, Thomasville, Cairo, wherever I go, it seems to be the black women and white right women who are standing up and speaking. But black men seem like they scared as hell, or scared as heaven one. The black pastors don't even stand up like they used to. The black pastors and bishops used to be the keystone of the black community. But it seems that we have lost them for whatever reason. So I want to commend you for standing up, my brother. Any closing remarks you want to give in terms of how you point towards the mayor here?
The mayor here, I love our mayor, which is my nephew, and I want to make a statement that if to the other mayors, not just black mayors, but to all mayors, not only Georgia, but in the whole United States. If you see a mayor targeted and you see something like that happen, we could really use your funds and use your help to get us what we need to find the information we need. If we could start a reward program, you know, the money is slight because of our population here. We're a very small community, so we don't have the sufficient funds for everything. But if something happened to you, we were glad to be. I know he was glad to show up on your doorstep or be at your hospital bed to be there for you. So I'm challenging all mayors from everywhere to stick their nose in our business.
Thank you very much. Brother Wallace, thank you so much. Once again, This is George Boston Rhyme, the Ghetto Free Press. I do what I do because it must be done. I served this nation for 21 years in the United States Armed Forces. I took an oath and obligation to protect this nation against foreign domestic enemies. And anybody that come up against American people, then guess what? I took that oath, and if I could fight and die for those, be willing to die for those people in foreign nations, then don't you think I should be willing to put my life on the line here in the homeland of the United States of America? Amen. As they say, the land of the free and the home of the brave, and in some cases too many graves. But thank God the mayor is still with us, and we're going to be here until time be no more. Bye-bye. We're gone. Thank
you have to the city hall.
Who's the judge?
The same one that's always been, Mr. Judge Reeves.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to go and get my things from there. Remove everything.
No, ma'am.
Can I go back in the city hall?
She can go back in the city hall as a citizen, not as a mayor.
Oh,
You cannot, you can go to the city council meeting, but not as a mayor.
So, oh, that's what I'm saying.
This is what this is all about.
This is the Ghetto Free Press, and we just understand that undoubtedly they saying she can not go back as mayor.
Hello, how you doing?
It seems as if though what they've been doing in Meigs is now applicable here in
I was
Gordon.
getting it today.
They say she can go to City Hall, but not as mayor this evening. And they waited until right before the meeting tonight.
Clerk's office at 4:25 today.
Okay.
The Terry Edie, Freddie Dennis, Amanda Bates, and the Plain.
You call your attorney?
No, I'm going to
Call him. Before you sign it, call your attorney.
Papers here for you. It's another restraining order against you from the plaintiffs, Terry Edie, Freddie Dennis, and Amanda Bates, and the same crew. And this is to keep you out of office for another 30 days. Okay? So what you need to do is just carry this and give this to your lawyer, and let him handle it for you. Okay?
Sure. Just wait till it.
All this belongs to you.
Okay.
Let's see if there's anything that I need to especially tell you about. Exhibits and all of that. You've already got them 3 or 4 times. They had a hearing today.
Okay, now, why do you support the mayor? Anybody?
Because the mayor hasn't really been given an opportunity to do what she needs to do, and it's not fair. And we are out here today supporting her because where there is no justice, there was no peace.
All right, what you say, my brother?
And also, she's the person we elected to be in office. We elected her, so she needs to be given the opportunity because we put her there. We always support everybody else. Now we want to support the mayor that we elected in office.
I see you all went.
Ordered an audit, but they are covering up corruption, fraud, and mismanagement. That's why they do not want anyone to look.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
Yes, sir, you had something to say?
Yeah, I have one observation, really, and that is when the council first voted on the audit, you had 6 council members was present, and you had 5 voted for the audit, and 1 voted against the audit. It is rumored that one person made a statement to another member, "You are a disgrace to the white race." Well, if that's not racist, I don't know what is. He also said, and I quote, "If I go to jail, you are going to go to jail also. So why you want to support it?" Those statements have never been put on the air, in the news, in the newspaper, in the Wilkinson Post. I'm wondering why. I spoke to Channel 41 about it, and their comment was, and I quote, "I understand, I was there, I heard it, I've been on tape, but from our vantage point, it is not newsworthy." And that will tell you exactly what I'm saying.
So now, Mr. Lou, what you are saying is that, I mean, when you first started, my question to you was, is this a figment of your imagination? But now you have stated on camera before the people and citizens in Gordon, in the state of Georgia, and for Eric Holder of the Department of Justice that also have a civil rights division that deals with racial issues, you making it unequivocally clear that somebody witnessed what was said, yet our newspapers have ignored or said that it was not newsworthy, when in, let me repeat, when in Lumpkin, Georgia, a white female city councilman allegedly referred to Mayor Gibson, and I went and covered the story because I was called to that area, referred to him as a nigger. They told me don't use the N-word, but call it what it is because we're at 2014. So you're saying what you just said can be substantiated and verified by certain individuals. Who else was there that saw or heard what you were saying?
I would say the mayor reported it, number one, at the meeting. Nobody.
Okay, so this was at a public meeting?
Yes.
City council meeting?
City council meeting. And that was not put in the minutes.
Wait a minute. You're saying that somebody is not putting the beef of the minutes in the minutes?
Amen, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Tawana Brown.
What's the name?
City clerk.
Go ahead, what's the name?
Her name is City Clerk Tawana Brown. I was there at that meeting when Mayor Lou discussed that. She said point blank that Terry Edie made the comment to City Council member Smallwood.
Smallwood.
Exactly. Said that, well, you ought to just paint your face black. Now, if that's not a racist comment, I don't know what is. Do we want a person of that nature, of that character, being Mayor Pro Tem for us? Do we want that person to step up? Now, they got a good one, Mayor Lou. Now they're trying to put in, what? A disgrace. We support Mayor Lou. We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
So you're saying what you just said can be substantiated and verified by certain individuals. Who else was there that saw or heard what you were saying?
I would say the mayor reported it, number one, at the meeting. Nobody.
Okay, so this was at a public meeting?
Yes.
City council meeting?
City council meeting. And that was not put in the minutes.
Wait a minute. You're saying that somebody is not putting the beef of the minutes in the minutes?
Amen, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Tawana Brown.
What's the name?
City clerk.
Go ahead, what's the name?
Her name is City Clerk Tawana Brown. I was there at that meeting when Mayor Lou discussed that. She said point blank that Terry Edie made the comment to City Council member Smallwood.
Smallwood.
Exactly. said that, well, you ought to just paint your face black. Now, if that's not a racist comment, I don't know what is. Do we want a person of that nature, of that character, being mayor pro tem for us? Do we want that person to step up? Now, they got a good one, Mayor Lou. Now they're trying to put in, what? A disgrace. We support Mayor Lou.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
You all are from here and I'm not. I was called into this area. My other question is this, and I'm about through. But my question is this. Do you all believe that what I read the June 26 newspaper, and I've been watching and reading the Wilkerson Post religiously, as well as watching the TV stations, all of them. My question to you all as citizens who live here, do you all feel that the news media is being fair, unbiased to the mayor and to the people of Gordon, or maybe it's just a select few? What's your opinion on that? Anybody?
Of course they are being selective, and they're singling her out. The newspaper here, they're making record sales. And why? Because it's a gossip column, pretty much. They're focusing on putting negativity on the mayor, which is false allegation and brought up by the concerned citizens of the city. So my thing of it is, give her a fair shot. And I can understand why she doesn't want to speak to the media, because everything that she says, they twist it. That's why I say, people of Gordon, get a first-hand account of what's going on at city council meetings. I've attended regularly. I'm always there. And we need to show our support for our mayor. If you want to know what's going on, get the first-hand account. Don't look for the news report. Don't look for the newspaper. Get a first-hand account. Be there. Show up.
I've heard you speak before, and it's already on social media, wherein you stated that the pastors, the business owners, I think you even went as far as the extraterrestrials, if they are in this community, to come forth, step up to the plate, and be heard, because now is the time to be heard. Would you expound a little bit more on that, please?
Yes, now is the time for, you know, the different leaders in our city to stand up. Because too often, I'm not seeing the church family. I mean, pastors, elders, missionaries, evangelists. Where are you? During Martin Luther King time, civil rights, they were heavy, deep into action. So now is the time. We see that civil rights are being trampled. Where are you? Where are you? Business leaders, where are you? Business owners, where are you? Different organizations, where are you? We have a big problem down here on our hands in Gordon, and we need for you to come out, show your support. Now is the time.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
This has to stop.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
We support the mayor.
We support the mayor.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
So once again, and I have to admit that this morning I really have been educated, because I did not know that that comment had been made. I am a retired military veteran, and I thought that if something come up like this, at least the news media should report it. That should have been, especially if it took place at a public meeting in the state of Georgia. Number one, it should have been published by the news media. Number two, it definitely ought to have been in the minutes.
Amen. Thank
We're
you.
glad you're out here.
Wait. No.
Go ahead. What you say, sister?
I said we're glad you're out here now supporting.
Thank you. Yes.
And one of the councilmen asked the mayor if he could say something. And the mayor said yes. And he said, was it I who said that his face should be painted black? And she said, no, it wasn't you.
Wow. Okay. Mr. Lou, I think you said you had something.
No, I would say this.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
We support the mayor.
I would say this one thing. People got to understand that from my vantage point, from my knowledge, a law was broken when two people conspire to deprive another one of their EOC
their rights.
youth rights, then that is a law that carries 10 years under the federal jurisdiction. So I want everybody to know that. That's a federal offense. And I do not know why nobody has taken it up, nobody has mentioned it, nobody has said anything. Okay. There's a crime committee.
This has to stop.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
We support the mayor.
In the state of Georgia be disenfranchised because you all elected her, yet I don't care whether it's the governor, the secretary of state, not the governor because I know the governor can, but how can all these other people just take a mayor down that the people elected? Do you think that's right under our form of government here in the state of Georgia?
No.
No. We support the mayor. We support the mayor. We
respond to that.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
The reason why Gordon has all these different accounts because, you know, you got criminals that working in the judicial system.
That's right.
And no matter how high official that you may be or whatever's going on, the audit was what really started the problem in the city of Gordon.
I would like to tell America to take off the blinders. I would like to tell Governor Deal and any of the people up there that we elected, they need to take the blinders off and come and see what's going on in their communities. Enough is enough, and that's it. We're not taking it anymore. We're not going to take this thing down.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
Does any Okay, is there any other issues outside of the Sunshine Law as well as the Open Records Law that has you all concerned?
Yes.
Yes.
Mostly
Go ahead.
Mostly concerning the rules that the city has put out. Long as it's been mayor, they never brought this subject up. Since she got to be mayor, everything she doing is wrong. She is not doing anything wrong. If our city councilman Edie wanted to be the mayor, he had the opportunity to run. He have ran and he lost. Don't nobody want him mayor, no way. Mayor Kenny Turner accept the loss. Why can't everybody else? Right. That's the main thing.
The mayor. We support the mayor.
Would anybody like to comment? Because this is what I have observed. How could it be that the mayor and council took action at a public meeting in the state of Georgia, and yet it seems as if the mayor pro tem, I noticed in the June the 26th newspaper, it states the pro tem saying I, that the word I, the personal pronoun I, is like the other council members don't have any weight. And in addition to that, they say that the current, well, the new attorney Jones was picked by the mayor. But I never see nothing in the news media which states that it was approved by the council. So why is it that it seems like everything is pushed toward the mayor instead of mentioning the council? Is not the council the elected force of the council?
Yes, they are.
So why do you think they're putting everything as if though the mayor is doing something wrong when the council approving of it?
Because they're singling her out. They figure if they get rid of her, then they'll have the opportunity to work on getting rid of them. The bottom line. Let's call a spade a spade.
I have a comment. If Terry Edie, if he wanted to be the mayor, he should have ran to be the mayor. He got one taste of a meeting and he thought he's the mayor now. So if he wanted to be the mayor, he should have ran to be the mayor.
All right.
Also, it was my understanding, whether it's true or not, my understanding, which I'm not 100% sure that it's true, the remarks that he made. Once he got the mayor out, he was going to start working on certain city council members.
Wow.
We
Support the mayor.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
I tell you, we are all a country of laws. It seems like these laws are only meant for the white folks. When a black man comes up, he has no right, he has no vote. He voted for her in office, and that was not accepted.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
Mary Whipple and Whipple Lou.
I would like to tell America to take off the blinders. I would like to tell Governor Deal and any of the people up there that we elected, they need to take the blinders off and come and see what's going on in their communities. Enough is enough, and that's it. We're not taking it anymore. We're not going to take it sitting down.
Does anybody have a comment about how can the voters in the state of Georgia be disenfranchised because you all elected her, yet I don't care whether it's the governor, the secretary of state, not the governor, because I know the governor can, but how can all these other people just take a mayor down that the people elected? Do you think that's right under our form of government here in the state of Georgia?
No. We support the mayor. We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
In reference to what you just said, we are on the eve of July the 3rd. Tomorrow will be the Independence Day for America. Keep in mind that the will of the people has already spoken here in Bowen, Georgia. They elected Mayor Marianne Whipple-Lou on the 15th of November. Now we have a group known as the Concerned Citizens of Board who wish to revoke that. And they're currently having a hearing today in Swainsboro, Georgia by Judge Barbara Reeves, who has no longer overseeing this case. However, the appeal court has allowed him to hear this morning. I'm quite sure that he will come to grips that his earlier decisions that he made, that he will now be in line with the appeal court and send the opposition party for the Concerned Citizens of Gordon on their way. And hopefully they'll come to grips that the will of the people has spoken, and they need to get in line and support Marianne Whipple-Lou, and move forward to taking care of the business of the city and stop being an obstacle for her administration to move forward.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
We support. Now, next thing I want to mention, she ordered an audit, but they are covering up corruption, fraud, and mismanagement. That's why they do not want anyone to look.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
Now, another question is this, and I think this is often forgotten. Behind Mayor Whipple-Lou is children, grandchildren, friends and relatives, mothers and fathers. Does anybody want to comment, how do you think this affects the mayor in her capacity as mother and these different titles? How do you think going through all of this? We know that the mayor in Meigs, Georgia have been in the hospital. Her mother have been in the hospital, maybe as a result of the additional stress that has been placed upon her over in Meigs, Georgia. Can anybody tell me what do you think it might be like to having to go through this unnecessarily?
Well, I can say that being her daughter, I see that, you know, it's undue stress on her, but she manages very well. She's a strong woman and she has God on her side. And because of this, she's able to stand. Stand when the pressure seems to be so grip holding tight. But she's a strong woman, and that's why she was elected mayor of this fair city of Gordon. So I'm asking that she gets a fair chance. She was voted in, so let the woman do her work. Let her do her job, because they're doing whatever they see fit. They fired City Attorney Boone, but now it seems they put him back into place. Is that right? Is that fair? No, it's not. He was fired. So why is there an assumption that he's the city attorney? We say no. We support the mayor.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
Now, another question is this, and I think this is often forgotten. Behind Mayor Whippaloo is children, grandchildren, friends and relatives, mothers and fathers. Does anybody want to comment? How do you think this affects the mayor in her capacity as mother and these different titles? How do you think going through all of this? We know that the mayor in Meigs, Georgia, have been in the hospital. Her mother have been in the hospital, maybe as a result of the additional stress that had been placed upon her over in Meigs, Georgia. Can anybody tell me what do you think it might be like to having to go through this unnecessarily?
Well, I can say that being her daughter, I see that, you know, it's undue stress on her, but she manages very well. She's a strong woman and she has God on her side. And because of this, she's able to stand. Stand when the pressure seems to be so grip holding tight. But she's a strong woman, and that's why she was elected mayor of this fair city of Gordon. So I'm asking that she gets a fair chance. She was voted in, so let the woman do her work. Let her do her job, because they're doing whatever they see fit. They fired City Attorney Boone, but now it seems they put him back into place. Is that right? Is that fair? No, it's not. He was fired. So why is there an assumption that he's the city attorney? We say no. We support the mayor.
We support the mayor. We support the mayor. We support the mayor.
All of that is not going on in Gordon. In fact, I've lived in Gordon for numerous years. Gordon is still as it was when I was a child. Nothing has been brought in, no businesses. They brought one business in, and they made sure that it was put in the city of Ivy, which was the Huddle House. And now it is closed.
But why do you think that people are so, I guess, disadvantaged in Gordon when it comes to new businesses, a better government system? Why do you think that that is the case?
Apparently they don't want no growth. And that's what the mayor came in with. She wanted to make the city grow.
So you think that she represents growth and change for Gordon?
Yes, and we need that. Definitely. We need growth in Gordon. Gordon was larger than the city of Gray. Now Gray is almost equal to Macon. Not quite, but it has grown. Gordon hasn't grown. We've been the same. I mean, I've been there for years. And we have been the same city. Nothing. One street. One stoplight. It's not about what Mayor Lou is doing wrong. It really isn't. It's the fact that they don't want her in there because she won't grow in the city.
I have a question. When she was running for office, did she say that she was going to bring growth? Did she say...
I'm sure that she did.
Yes, she did.
I'm sure that she did.
Do you remember what she said she would do?
Well, she said, for one thing, I know she was saying that she wanted things for everybody. Not for only the blacks, but the whites also. For everybody in our city. For the children. We don't have any kind of recreation for our kids. Or nothing like that. And it's just, I mean, it's terrible that they're saying that it's because she's a racist. Now, I was approached at the post office one day by a white lady, and she said to me, you know, she was telling me about the city didn't have anything. And then as soon as somebody else white came up, she said to me, she said, well, what y'all think about the mayor? And I was like, well, I don't think you should talk about that. And she said, well, I think she's racist. I said, no, she's not racist. But to me, it's not that she's racist, but they don't want growth And I guess if you're black, you have to get back.
My question then would be, if she's saying that she's going to bring growth, do you remember how she was going to? Did she say the plan that she was going to?
Back to the first one.
No, she didn't say what kind of plans, not to my knowledge. But the thing is, she hasn't been given an opportunity.
What do you think about her locking certain departments and taking away keys, or maybe issuing Tawana Brown, as they say? Now, this is not my words; these are their words, saying that Tawana Brown was pressured by the mayor to write checks, taking.
I don't understand that, but my thing is this: if she is the mayor, why doesn't she have the keys that they have? Why doesn't she have the key?
No, she had the keys. She took them away, as stated in court today.
I don't understand that. I don't understand what they're talking about. She took the keys away.
As in, she took out the old locks, put in new ones, so nobody else who actually, if you worked in the post office, you didn't have your own key to get in. She had the key, but you didn't.
Because
she in the post office?
Any
department.
I'm not familiar with that. And to me, didn't they say which departments were there? There was the Discovery Center,
Better Homes,
certain
departments like that.
I don't understand what's going on there.
Okay, I have one other comment. One of the things that she requested was the audit, and I think this put the icing on the cake. Everybody went to talking, audit. Why not present the audit? Why not pay the auditor? Okay, Terry Eady, he can pay a contractor $52,000.
No, what they were saying in there, not to cut you off, but what they were saying in there was that they wanted to pay the auditor, Brett.
No, they refused to pay the auditor.
What was his name?
They paid him $10,000.
Or basket.
Yeah.
They paid him one $10,000 check.
And I was at that city council meeting. And it was agreed by the city councilman to pay him that $10,000. Okay, what about his other $20,000? You can pay a contractor $52,000 since he's been the mayor pro tem, and then come in and he does more construction work, and you can pay him, and he has the right to sign that check, and she doesn't have the right as the mayor to sign that check. What's wrong with that picture? It's not so much black and white. They do not want this audit to go through. The biggest thing is this audit.
I'd like to ask you a question. Both of you all been in the city for how long? How many years have you been in Florida?
I was born there.
I was born there.
Okay, so all of your life. Have you ever seen any mayor go through what Mayor Whippley is going through? Have you ever seen
No, and that's what I was saying. The other mayors that came in, no one ran up in there talking about the charter or what's going on in the city. Nobody questioned them. But as soon as Mayor Whippley went into office, they were all on top of her. And that's just unfair. That's injustice unto her. They haven't given her an opportunity. Nobody knows what the other mayor's done. And apparently nothing. I mean, I won't say nothing, but the city hasn't grown. There is nothing in Gordon to show if grants have come through, what happened to them? What happened to them? Look at Gordon. There's nothing there. The city hasn't grown. Ever since I was a child, the city looked like it looks now.
Let me ask you another question, then I'll be through. Why do you all think, since y'all been there so long in this city, why do you think that the mayor very seldom grants interviews to the news media?
Well, I can answer that.
Very good question.
I have had bad experience. Not per se with WMAZ or 41, but with the Wilkerson County people. I mean, they take things and they twist it around, and it's just a bunch of junk. I think they need to pattern themselves after the Macon paper, maybe the Millersville paper, because that is junk. You know, this is the biggest sale they ever had in the history of paper sale. And it's trash, it's junk.
Can you give me an example of what they say, how they twist?
Just different things that they say, they just twist it from, you know, from past experience. Myself, I know I told them something, and I don't care to share it, but they took it and they twisted it around. It was not what I said. And Ms. Lou, she had the same experience.
I would like to tell America to take off the blinders. I would like to tell Governor Deal and any of the people up there that we elected, they need to take the blinders off and come and see what's going on in their communities. Enough is enough, and that's it. We're not taking it anymore. We're not going to take it sitting down.
Once again, this is Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhymes, and this is YouTube. I'm still in Lumpkin. I didn't know this was the county seat. But anyway, what's your name, my sister?
Mona Hubbard.
Mona Hubbard?
Mona Hubbard.
Mona Hubbard, okay. I'm sitting here with Mona Hubbard, and she wanted to talk to me. She wanted to highlight some of the things that we can expect here in the city. Mayor Gibson told me that she would be a good citizen to speak, and that's why we're here. Tell me something about the city. Now, first of all, I heard that there's something that happened at the city with a city council member. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yes.
And then the pastor showed me this newspaper and showed me that I think one of the people in there is you.
Yes.
Which one is it, right?
That's me right there.
Yeah, I thought right there. So in the headlines in the paper for my YouTube watch, it says, local NAACP calls for resignation of council member. Sworn statement alleges councilwoman Debbie Stone called Lumpkin mayor a nigger. You know anything about that?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about the city first, and then maybe you can go into lead up to what happened in the situation. Just tell us. We just need to know. And by the way, tell us everything, because it's not just Lumpkin. It's a lot of cities here in the state of Georgia that has the same problem. Let's talk to us.
Well, first of all, I grew up here in Lumpkin till I was 18. I was born here. I grew up here when I was 18 years old. I came back in 95 at 32. And even the difference between from when I left to when I came back.
You came back from where? Where you went?
Well, I was a military spouse.
Okay, all right, okay.
So I traveled everywhere. So I was, you know, live with different people, all races and nationalities and everything. And it's, you know, coming back home to the United States.
To America,
see, yes, to America, to see this still going on. It's ridiculous. And even, like I said, I've been here since 95, and this is 2014, and it's just ridiculous. We've had Mayor Gibson, you know, to me is the best mayor that we've ever had here, and it's not because he's black. It's just he's just a good mayor. When he was a city councilman, if it was something that he didn't understand, he always questioned it. He never just went into a blind vote, and that's one thing I admire about him. That's why I voted for him. They expect for this Mayor Gibson to come in and do something that has never been done. I mean, when the white people that were mayor, because Mayor Gibson is the first black mayor here, and it's like he gets so much grief, and like he's supposed to change the world, pretty much the way they do President Obama.
Right.
You know, it's not like things have not been messed up already, but they expect for the first black man or the black man to come and change the world. We had one mayor that was the mayor and the city attorney. Call out a conflict, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We had we just hadn't had anybody that was doing anything. And then when companies wanted to come in Lumpkin years ago, they wouldn't allow them.
So in the process of not letting anybody come in, when Lumpkin did have something to offer, in the process it has gone down now. So now it's nothing here, and the people still fighting, don't want anything to come here. You know, we have people here that don't even want a library to come. Our kids in Lumpkin don't even have a library.
No library?
No library. You know, and they're fighting with Mayor Gibson because it was a building across. You probably take some pictures of the old Lumpkin Drugs. Now, city council voted to buy this building before they even got a building inspector. I mean, who buys real estate without getting an inspection first? You know, really? And I asked them about that. Who does that? So Mayor Gibson is trying to put a library down on Martin Luther King Avenue. It was a area where people used to hang around, but Chief Garcia and Mayor Gibson is cleaning up. So it's a nice area, and the area was donated to the city. And it's not only going to be a library, it's going to be a park and a, you know, where the kids can go play and stuff like that. They don't have anything here. But this council person, this is not her first time referring to as black people as niggers.
Wait. Now you're talking this Councilman Stone.
Councilman Stone.
Wow.
You know.
If it's not, excuse me, I got to join you, girl. This thing, I mean, I already know we had problems in other cities. Now, this is more of a reason why the governor and the Secretary of State and the Attorney General needs to be here, if not the federal government, because you're dealing with civil rights here. So what else happened other than this incident?
Well, she has made the comment, and people have heard her saying that she grew up calling black people niggers. So there's nothing wrong with that. You know, part of the reason why she's an elected official is because us as black people, some of us did not vote. And of course, the majority rules.
Right.
Now that doesn't mean that she's qualified, because she's not. You know, it's a council member that was before her, and it was a black man. He won the majority of the vote. She made a big deal for a recall because they couldn't prove his that he graduated.
Okay.
And pretty much they did that to disqualify him so that she could run. You know, and she's always trying to stir up trouble.
When people say that when they see you talking like you're talking, they're going to say that you are playing the race card. Or that's what they accuse me of. But this is a incident report wherein it documents, and I will put this online, that she did use the word nigger. In here they say N-word, but we're getting down because it seems like we are returning back to the Jim Crow laws. I guess we got to use it the way it is. That's why I guess you spell it out and pronounce it.
I mean,
and so what you are saying is not playing the card. This is
that's the fact.
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
And the thing about that is, the person that reported her was a white guy.
Yes.
You know, I can understand. We just got a new fire chief, and he doesn't know anybody here, so he don't know who's an ally or an enemy. So his duty is to report that type of stuff, especially by somebody that's a council. So he was put in a position. He did the right thing. He wrote a statement. That's a sworn statement.
Do you know that if anybody called the Civil Rights Division or anybody in Atlanta? Because for an elected official to do this, it seemed like that definitely should have generated some type of attention from some kind of higher authority.
Well, I know that our local NAACP has asked for her resignation.
Right, okay.
And she would not accept the letter.
Okay.
Our Columbus News, it's been on the news a couple of times. She would not accept the letter. Matter of fact, it was on the news yesterday.
Okay.
And they even went by her house to get a statement, but you know, she wasn't available for a statement. And when she first did this and it blew up, she left town for a while. You know, she's been pretty much keeping a low profile.
Okay. As I listen to you speak, it seems like to me, and I believe me, I've been doing this since that time. It seems like to me that you are very up on what's going on. What makes you get involved in the affairs of your city? What makes you do this?
Well, first of all, I'm the chairman, the acting chairman of the Downtown Development Board. I was second chair, but then the lady that was there resigned. We're trying to get Lumpkin to have some business here because there's nothing here for it. We have to drive 8 miles to go get some grocery.
Right.
You know, and people think that Mayor Gibson has something to do with that. But if you had a company that you want to bring here
and I charge you too much for the property, you're going to go somewhere else. He cannot make anybody put anything here. You know, several people have come and seen the thing, but then with this negative stuff like that, you know, business people are about money.
Right.
They don't care if it comes from a black or white or orange, anybody. It's about green.
Right.
But if they come here and see this division within the town, why would you want to put something here?
Well, the same thing happened, it's being discussed in Gordon. Gordon police was having trouble just to get insurance for the city because of the tension that's in the council meeting itself, and the police, I guess they are worried about the safety of the police officers because it's just a lot of confusion.
Well, Chief Garcia has really came here and cleaned up Lumpkin.
When you say Garcia, is he black?
No, he's not. He's Hispanic.
Hispanic, okay.
Yes. And me personally, I don't personally have too many problems with anybody per se. I'm a point blank person. I don't sugarcoat things. I don't throw rocks and hide my hands. You know. My grandmother taught me, if you can have anything you want if you go to work. My grandmother was a school teacher in this county for 42 years. You know, and that's when she was born in the 20s and the 30s when black people really wasn't going to college. My grandmother went and went to college and came back and brought it here and taught generations of kids here.
Right.
So, and to see how it changed from back in the 70s and 80s when I was a kid to 2014, it should be so much better now than it was then. But actually, you know, when I tell my grandbaby about the way, and not even my grandbaby, kids that's in their early 20s or, you know, just getting out how it used to be when I was a kid, they're looking at me like they can't imagine that. And it's really sad in 2014 we still doing the race thing.
Well, considering that everything that you just told us and the history about your mom, and for the newspaper to say local NAACP calls for resignation of a council member for using the N-word, as they say, how do you feel about other cities in the state of Georgia that have requested the help of Governor Deal? As you know, probably know, Chris Wright, the mayor of Dawson, was shot. And the mayor over in Gordon, Georgia, been removed by Superior Court Judge Robert S. Reeves, and yet they haven't been. She has not been found guilty. In Meigs, the black female mayor over there, have been arrested twice, have received 2 criminal trespass warnings, been banned from City Hall. 2 of her brothers, Edward and Calvin, been arrested, have received 2 criminal trespass on them, according to a former police chief who had been in served 30 years, says for nothing. And so, don't you think, as you, and that's just a few of them,
right? And
you listen to what I just said, then you listen to, or not listen to, but as I listen to you stating that what has happened here, don't you think that the governor or the secretary of state or the attorney general, somebody should come in here and at least look and try to resolve some of these problems, or at least say to the world and to the other cities in Georgia that we concerned?
Yes, that's a major concern, because to me, history is not going to repeat itself, because that would never be allowed. But for the powers that be up in Atlanta, Governor Dillon, they need to take heed. I mean, you cannot know that this is not happening. You know, it's time to put their foot down, because, you know, if I'm in office, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm at least look into it to see what's going on. This is too widespread. This is not just Lumpkin. This is all these small little, you know, small communities. They have black mayors there. Right. You know.
So say that once again, because I've been saying it, and yet the new Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, NAACP, SCLC, Urban League, Gabby Yo, which I got the highest respect, supposed to be in Savannah with them Saturday, and others, it seems to me that to carry on the real dream of Dr. King, it seems to me, not only Dr. King, for white right people as well, somebody needs to step up to the plate nationally. Eric Holder, I don't understand why he hasn't jumped on the issue with all the problems that we are having. So I agree with you. So, any closing words you want to say before we close this thing out here?
I would like to tell America to take off the blinders. I would like to tell Governor Deal and any of the people up there that we elected, they need to take the blinders off and come and see what's going on in their communities. Enough is enough, and that's it. We're not taking it anymore. We're not going to take a sit down.
Now, I got to close out on this because you made a statement, and I am a retired military veteran. If you travel, and you say you did, in the military as a spouse,
yes.
Where did you go?
Went to Germany. Stayed in Germany about 6 years.
What part?
Wolfersheim, Friedberg. My husband was stationed in Kirchgoings. One time, the Rock, they used to call it. My last duty station was Berlin.
Wow. Berlin, I bet you got a lot of history there, didn't you?
Well, you know, actually, when I went to Berlin, it was when the wall was coming down.
Oh, my God.
So, I went there with the making of history. I got there when the wall was coming down.
So, I'm going to help you sum this up in this way because, as a veteran, this is what I talk about a lot on these YouTube channels. Is that don't you think it's kind of a disgrace for a person to serve their country, and in time of war as well, then to return back to a city in the state of Georgia and have to go through what we thought we had mastered in the 50s and 60s? Don't you think it's kind of hurtful?
It's appalling.
Especially to the
retired vet to come home when you fought for, it didn't matter what color. You did your job, what you were sworn to do. And for you to come home and get anything other than open arms, it's a disgrace.
It is indeed a disgrace.
It's a disgrace.
Will you do one other thing for me? Will you take that paper and hold it up front ways to let the people know that what you just said about the N-word, that you are not playing the race card, that this is something that actually happened. And it has been recorded. It's been documented. We have the incident report there. So the people who want to call you playing the race card by the way you just spoke, calling me the race card because I responded to a phone call yesterday afternoon and I'm here today. Right. And over 3 weeks ago, I was called to come here, but I thought, well, it's not that serious. But the call I got last night, it broke the ice, and so I'm here.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Once again, give me your name, and what do you do again? Just a plain citizen trying to make change?
Plain citizen trying to make change. My name is Mona Hubbard.
Okay. I got 2 more questions for you. I just can't close this thing out.
Okay.
So, are you a registered voter?
I'm a registered voter. Been voted since I was 18.
And are you a member of any civil rights organization?
No, I am not.
You're not. But yet, you still fighting for what is right. Am I correct?
Exactly.
Keep it going, sister. I love your courage, and I thank you. And you know, for my friends in Canada and New Zealand, I didn't have to beg her to get on the camera. When the mayor, I was out with the mayor, she said, I want to talk about my city. I want to talk about my city. So she went home, and in a few minutes she was back. Now you have, as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story. And Lumpkin County is the what for this? It is
Lumpkin, this is Stewart County, and this is the county seat.
All right. Thank you so much.
In the calming situation, you diffuse the situation where it doesn't escalate into a violent situation, which that did. And it was a horrible.
Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp, investigator, came into Brooks County.
I'm looking at the office.
Because of problems that were identified.
And when you let it escalate, you was wrong. And then if you avoid them and you there and you ain't saying anything, now you become part of that problem. Because somebody should have intervened and diffused that situation before it got to where it was at. My thing is, training needs to be in place. Because like I said, the only training I had since I've been there was trying how to set the election up, not how to perform as a board member. I had to take time on my own, and really, I looked at the book. I can't remember the code for thing, but I looked at the book and I read it. And the board is my responsibility. What it's saying is, as a board member, to make sure Mr. Collins have everything he needs in place to set up an election. And to come in and make rules over situations that arises. And nowhere in that book where it states where I should be a board member in there doing day-to-day operation.
We must thank board members for kind of breaking ranks and willing to try to clean up and straighten up and educate the people that we can build a better mousetrap. So really, Mr. DeShazier really should be respected simply because of the fact that he's willing to to try and get it right. But even in trying to get it right, if the Secretary of State don't come in with them teeth in Brooks County or any of the other counties like Willacoochee or wherever there's a voting problem, well, this thing's going to remain the same in the state of Georgia. And really, it's disgraceful.
Putting people in the system to register to vote, sending out ballots. Now, if he needs assistance, I can come in and control the traffic or make sure everything is calm to do a day-to-day operation, and I didn't see it in there.
I have a few comments that I'd like to address. My name is George Dawson, I ran for the record. I just want to say on the day of the election, I went to this meeting. I didn't hear on TV or radio nothing about their monthly or what have you. I'm just wondering if it was advertised, number one. But after getting there, just walking into the polling, because that was election day, and when I walked into the polls, and of course you'll see that on the video, which I'm going to give you a DVD, I just happen to have one, so I'm going to give you one for you, of the entire voting election meeting, except for the video part. The video part is on YouTube. That's because the camera went off, but I think I may have the Capitol where I showed the Capitol, and I put the words with the Capitol showing, because this is a state of Georgia problem. So what I did, because my camera didn't get the visual, my tape recorder like I'm doing here is a backup. So I played that with showing the Capitol around Governor Nathan Deal's office so he could see that we have problems down here inside Georgia, which is a reflection upon our state. Okay, also, another thing that when I went into the polling, I did not see not one black person working in the polling place there. Other words, the people that check the ID and actually get the work done, there was no blacks at all. Now, that may not be nothing wrong with that, but here we go again, like Brother Cunningham said, that's the perception. And when the perception is, sometimes that creates a problem. Also, now, during this meeting, I'm retired military, and I've been involved in politics ever since 71. And for me to see the chairman of the board of election, I don't know her personally, but who did not even know that I had a right to record a public meeting in the state of Georgia, I found that kind of unbelievable. And of course, you can see that on the video as well. She asked me what was I doing, and I explained that to her. Then, when I said to her that what was being discussed may need to go into an executive session, and to see that undoubtedly she possibly didn't know how to go into an executive session. Here again, you see that on video. Then when she suggested we just close the meeting. Well, somebody in the audience, I don't remember exactly who it was, maybe J.C. Cunningham asked a question and said, you can't close a meeting like that. And I don't know whether she get $8,000 or $9,000 a year in salary, but it just seemed like to me that somebody should get at least that much money, ought to know those basics as I see it. And so I just want somebody in the state of Georgia to recognize that we do have serious problems down here. And once again, it was also brought up by, I think it was Dr. Dimmer, and I believe she was the president of the Brooks County School Board of Education. But she asked a question about the minutes, and really this is what started everything. She asked, and this was prior to the meeting, you'll see this on video too. And she said, when the meeting gonna start? Nobody had approved the minutes. Nobody had approved the agenda for the meeting. They didn't call it to order. And they never called the meeting to order. Here again, now somebody getting $8,000 to $10,000 a year.
Well, I was wrong, I have to admit, because that's the flavor of my nature and the nature of my flavor. They don't make that much a year, but I was ignorant, and so I was corrected on that, and I appreciate the correction, because to me that's what ignorance only means, the lack of information in a certain area. And then if you allow yourself to be open-minded and you learn, then you won't be ignorant next time. And so it is what it is. But this meeting and what we are talking about is factual. It's not a game. It is reality.
That means they don't know that those are basics, things that you do. Now also, so I'm just going to close. And what's your name again, sir?
Glenn Archie.
Glenn Archie. I would like for you to, during your investigation, to think about something here in South Georgia. Check the Valdosta Daily Times. Check ABC, NBC, see, as you compare what our major news media reported about this very serious election process in Brooks County, see what was reported to and whether the book press, to see if all this information that's on this DVD could have been lost forever if a little independent person like myself had not recorded it. What I'm about to put in your hands to give to Secretary of State Brian Kemp and hopefully Governor Nathan Deal can understand how it is important for the active duty people at Moody Air Force Base, Valdosta State University, people who come to the city from Wiregrass go to Wiregrass Technical College, people who visit Wildlife Central State Park, and all these historical visits locations. If they read the newspaper, they will think that they are getting the news. But if you watch this DVD, as Paul Harper would say, think about what the general public did not get because we don't have a news media to report the story. Now, I'm about to close. Isn't it strange that in 2012, with all the high technology that we have in this country, yet this particular public meeting and what transpired would have been lost forever. In other words, when our children graduate from school and they go back and check the Quitman Free Press to say what happened on July 16, 17, what was it? 17. On July the 17th, what took place in Brooks County? Well, let's look at Valdosta State County. Nothing. Well, let's check the TV station and get a tape there. What happened? Nothing. Let's check the Quitman Free Press. What happened? Nothing. So,
and there will be nothing that happened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and perhaps Friday, because no news media, no TV station reported nothing about the Lula Smart trial. One of the Quitman 10+2 that many of us believe that nothing was done wrong except for people was upset because for the first time in history, black African Americans dominate the school board of education, and there was those who didn't like it and they tried their best to circumvent it. But many of us in the religious community believe, just like our ancestors, we don't have a lot of money here.
I would like to tell America to take off the blinders. I would like to tell Governor Deal and any of the people up there that we elected, they need to take the blinders off and come and see what's going on in their communities. Enough is enough, and that's it. We're not taking it anymore. We're not going to take it sitting down.